Are you ready to live your dream? Motivation, inspiration, and passion. That's what it takes to make dreams come true. Welcome to the Nadia Sahari Show. Our guests will share important tips, insights, and knowledge to help you fulfill your dreams of success. Here's your host, actress, author, entrepreneur, Nadia Sahari.
Hello everyone, this is your host Nadia Sahari with the Nadia Sahari Show. I have an exciting guest today, but first of all, I always tell you what the show is about, and let me tell you briefly, it's about our dreams. It's about dreaming of writing a book, of acting in a movie, of getting a record label, or maybe having our own business. My dream has been all those things, and I do them all. So I don't know what I'm going to be when I grow up, but I'll figure it out soon. So maybe a lot of you are like me. That's why I invite guests to my show who will share their secrets, their journey, and their challenges. How did they do it? What are they doing now to maintain that success? And my guest today is incredible because he's kind of like me. He does everything. And he is a producer, an actor, director, singer, songwriter. Incredible. So let me tell you about this gentleman. He was born July 4th, 1940 in Queens, New York, to Elizabeth Jean and Dominic James Tarantino. Now you know who he is. He is Italian Sicilian. He was raised in Brooklyn. And without further ado, I wanted to introduce my friend, Tony Tarantino. Welcome to the Nadia Sahari Show.
Oh, thank you, darling. That's quite an introduction.
Oh, it's great. You are amazing. Your bio is incredible. So let's go with, what did you do first?
I guess in the early years as a child, I started out by singing with my dad. He used to sing me to sleep every night. And as I got a little older, I'd start singing with him. He was my hero. Anything he did, I had to do. He was an actor in the early 30s. I had to be an actor. He was a U.S. Marine in World War II. I had to be a Marine. He was my hero.
So that was your first thing, is singing. And what was your second talent?
Acting.
Okay. And did you do a lot of that before you became producer, director?
Oh, yeah. At that time, my first film was in 1958. I even hate to mention the date. In a film called Where the Boys Are.
Oh!
It's a classic. Even today, people know of it.
Oh,
that was my very first film. Then after that, I did a whole bunch of TV shows. That's when I was young and beautiful.
You're still beautiful and young.
And then as I got older and the parts that I wanted became harder to get, so I said, the heck with it. I'll start writing my own and write something for myself. That's when I started writing screenplays.
Good for you. Well, and then your parents relocated to Los Angeles, and that's where you graduated from high school, from Los Angeles. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So when you got the acting bug and you were in Where the Boys Are was your first film.
That is correct, yeah.
Okay. Let me move forward a little bit. And you became a skilled bow and arrow student at the Malibu Roving Archers.
Yes, I did that. My very first music teacher, his name was Sandy Ponzio. He was really into archery, and he brought me into it as well. And it was really a great sport. I enjoyed it.
I read your bio. You and I think alike. Your love is music, and it led you to form several bands, and you played lead, rhythm, and bass guitar, and you sang in supper clubs and nightclubs in Los Angeles. Tell us about that.
Well, whenever I didn't have an acting job, I was always able to earn a living with my music. Started out in small nightclubs here in Los Angeles, and then as time went on, I moved up to bigger ones. I performed at Caesar's Palace in Lake Tahoe. I performed at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. Those were some of the bigger shows that I have done.
That's incredible. Incredible. You also produced a television interview show, co-hosted a radio talk show, in 1998, and you worked on 4 films.
That is correct.
And you are a member of Silver Foxes, the brainchild of producer David Kreef.
Yeah, David Kreef.
And I never heard of Silver Foxes. It's a group of celebrity parents that include the late Sal Pacino, father of Al Pacino.
Yeah, Sal and I became really close. Sal used to call me his second son. And the funny part about it is when you look at younger pictures of me and younger pictures of Al, the resemblance is striking.
Wow.
Al is only about 6 months older than me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So talk to me about, we all know that Quentin Tarantino is your son. How does that work for you? How do you feel about that?
It was about the most exciting half hour of my life.
Do you watch his movies?
Oh, absolutely. My all-time favorite is Pulp.
Oh, really? So who do you feel was the biggest influence in your life to your success that you have today?
My father.
Your father. I knew you were going to say that, but I wanted to hear you say it. Is there anything that we should know about Tony Tarantino that we don't know?
Well, I'm working really hard now on producing a film that I wrote. It is titled Prism, and that's spelled Prism. A lot of people hear me say it, they think I'm saying prison. All based on facts, absolute true story. It's about the real life of El Chapo Guzman and the Sinaloa drug cartel. It gives you information and shows things in this film that people just don't know about. I got all my information from the top authorities, from DEA, DOD, Border Patrol, ICE. I've dealt with all these people. I've been to the actual locations where the events took place. I'm really excited about this film.
How far into it? Yes.
As I said, I wrote it, and I am directing it. And I do have a really top-quality cast. It's a major film. It's an A-list film.
Okay, cool. That's great. When do you start filming?
Hopefully, I'll be able to start by September.
Cool.
I'm working now on the last stages of funding. I only need $55 million to do it, so if you want to send it to me, be my guest.
Well, you know what we're going to do is we're going to play one of your songs that you wrote and that you sing. Okay. And then we're going to come right back to you and find out why you wrote it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, you don't have to be real detailed, but you can tell us. So here we go. We're going to talk about, we're going to listen to I Said Goodbye to an Angel.
If the sun doesn't come up in the morning and the stars don't shine tonight, it's because my world's void and the darkness has covered the light. If you see the mountains crumble and the ocean disappear, hear the wind whisper and my heart break with fear. I said goodbye to an angel, and it woke up the devil in me. She said she needed time and space to spread her wings. Now I'm traveling between heaven and hell, and her memory can't get free. I said goodbye to an angel, and it woke up the devil in me. I said goodbye to an angel, and it woke up the devil in me.
Wow, that is beautiful. What
Yeah,
was the
thanks.
inspiration behind that? Your voice is incredible.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Every song I wrote is about a relationship that I was either just getting into or just getting out of. and that one happens to be after a breakup with a woman that I was really taken by. I wrote a song for her that was just prior to the one you just heard, which told about how we met and how it was and what it was like. Then when we broke up, then I wrote this one.
So they're both about the same woman.
They're both about the same woman, yeah.
Oh, cool. And did she ever hear them?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I sent her copies of each one. While we were together, I wrote the first one, and she was tickled by that. And then after we broke up, I wrote this one and sent it to her.
Cool. So we still have one more to play. And yes, we're not finished. But you also said you wrote one for yourself.
Yes, I did.
Well, let's hear that one.
All right. This kind of like tells the story about me and how I think about me, okay?
Yes.
It goes, I love me, I think I'm grand, I go to the movies and I hold my hand. I put my arm around my waist. When I get too fresh, I slap my face.
I love that. That is incredible.
Yeah, I figure if a person can't have fun making fun of himself,
Yes.
he's got a problem.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. I've heard that before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. So we're going to play your second song called The Only Time I See You, which is the song that you sang when you first met your woman, correct?
These two different songs. The song you're about to play was recorded professionally at Cupid Records in Nashville. It made the charts.
Oh, cool.
And the first one you played, I did in my own music room.
Okay.
So there's a difference in the quality of recording.
Okay, we're going to play The Only Time I See You by Tony Tarantino.
When I wake up, you don't even cross my mind. I have a cup of coffee, fire up that old Chevy of mine. I head down the highway with the radio on. It don't bother me when I hear our favorite song. The only time I see you is when I close my eyes. The only time I need you is every day and night. The only place that hurts is deep down inside. The only time I see you is when I close my eyes. I get home late, stare at the phone, I hardly even notice your pictures are gone. The bedroom's waiting, eyes are heavy with sleep. I can't hold you, when I close my eyes. The only time I need you is every day and night. The only place it hurts is deep down inside. The only time I see you is when I close my eyes. The only time I see you is when I close my eyes.
Oh, I love it. I love that. It's got a great groove. When did you release this?
That was quite a while ago. I guess it was back in the 90s.
Oh, it's beautiful. And you wrote this? You wrote the lyrics and the music and everything?
That is correct.
Wow. That is incredible. And this was written for a woman you were dating at the time?
A woman that I was dating and then all of a sudden wasn't dating.
Okay. And you wrote another song for her?
And that's where it comes from. The only time I see you is when I close my eyes.
Oh.
The only time I need you is every day and night. The only place it hurts is deep down inside. The only time I see you is when I close my eyes.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. I love it, Tony.
Yeah, well, I'm a diehard romantic.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. You're such a romantic.
I've written 25 songs that made it through the airwaves, and each one was for a woman, and each one mostly was all different women.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So, what valuable advice can you give our listeners if they want to pursue a dream or a career such as yours, maybe as a singer, maybe as an actor or a producer? Is there any advice you would give to them?
Yeah, I've done a lot of seminars for young actors.
Uh-huh.
And the last thing I always leave them with is you don't lose till you quit.
Yes.
You've got a dream, then go for it. Put your heart and soul into it and don't look back.
You're absolutely right. Yes.
Everything starts with a dream. And a dream will die if that's all you do is dream.
Yes.
You know, you got the dream, then you have to pursue it. You have to put your whole heart and soul into it.
Well, we all have failures for sure in our lives, and we make mistakes, and we learn from them. I'm sure you learned from yours.
I've never made a mistake in my life.
Never.
When I was really young and beautiful, I used to be conceited. But then I found I was perfect, and there was no more room for conceit.
You're incredible. You're a character. Do you do any comedy?
Oh, well, I'm doing it right now.
That's true. But you should be a stand-up comic. You left that out of your career. You have all these other talents. You should go for stand-up comedy, too.
Uh-huh.
You didn't think of that one, did you?
No, I sure haven't.
If our listeners want to listen to your music, where can they go to buy it, to hear it, or whatever? Where can they go? Tell us.
That's a good question. I don't know. I've never, to me, my music has never been a vocation. It's always been an advocation. It's something I do. It's my personal psychiatric therapy.
Okay. So it's not for sale.
And songs that I've written that have been recorded by other major artists, plus the ones that I've done, were all accidental. I became really good friends with Jerry Cupid, owner-operator of Cupid Records in Nashville. Mm-hmm. And I would do songs for him, and he'd say, we have to record that. We have to do that. And then he would call me and say, this song that you did, I have a known artist that would like to record it. Is that okay with you? And I would say, sure, Jerry, anything you want, go for it. You know. But to me, my music has always been my pleasure rather than my income.
I got it.
When I wasn't working in front of a camera or behind a camera, I'd make a living by being on a bandstand somewhere, playing my guitar, singing my songs.
And now you are a director and filmmaker.
That is correct.
Cool. Love it. I can't wait to see your movie. I can't wait to see how you do it and what you've done. And I understand. I'm kind of like you. You know, I'm an actress. I'm a producer. And I'm even trying singing right now, believe it or not. I've been taking voice lessons for a few years.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like you. And I still don't. I love acting, though. Acting was my dream since 10. So that's really my dream. And I did do some of that, but I want to do more. So I'm going to be doing that. And this is great. I love sharing stories like this with my audience, and having this radio show is wonderful. So I love it. Talking to people like you, it teaches me a lot too.
Yeah, and I love listening to people like me. We created the initials BS.
Well, you're amazing and wonderful, and I thank you so much for being on my show and for who you are and just being the person you are. And when I met you, I've seen you about 3 times in the last 3-4 years. And, you know, maybe we'll see each other more. I think you're wonderful, and I think you're great, and you just keep doing what you're doing.
Well, you keep talking like that, and I'll write a song for you.
Okay. Okay. I might have to collaborate with you. Maybe we can write one together.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tony. God bless you.
No, thank you. God bless you. Take care.
You too. There was Tony Tarantino. Thank you so much, Tony. You were so funny. And I think you should consider stand-up comedy as your next career. Thank you to all my listeners for listening in. Thank you. And I'm asking you, what is your dream? What is your purpose? Are you working hard to make your dream come true? Because if we can do it, you can do it. What is your dream? What is your passion? God bless you all.
Thanks for tuning in with Nadia and her guests. For more info, episodes, and connection, please visit our website, thenadiasaharishow.com. Share episodes with your friends. Follow us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Instagram, and most importantly, never give up. Live your dream.